Hello, Renee Flamont here. You guys, this is another one that I get asked a lot is how did you finally make the narcissist stop trying to contact you? What did you do, Renee? I was asked this today. How did you make them no longer try to be hoovering you? What made you make it stop? And there is an answer. There's definitely a way to do it. And I know that people that ask me this, they want to know because they would like their narcissist to do the same, to stop. And they can't seem to shake theirs and they keep contacting them. But you have to be ready for them to stop. Because, and I made a video on that once, that's a whole other ramifications. Once they stop, you're going to have a whole bunch of other feelings. Please look that video up. I have no idea what number it is. The thing is, as long as I have any inclination at all, as long as he had any inclination at all that I would play, he kept at it. So anything, and playing is defined as, and I'm about to tell you, but as long as you give anything at all that indicates to them that you're in it, they're going to keep at it. And when you put the final axe down, which I'll tell you what it was, and you know now there's no going back, he'll never contact me again, you have to be ready for that result to be the result. So when I was finally ready, look, I really don't ever want to hear from him again. I did some things that were irreversible that I knew I'll never hear from him now. When I say he would know that I would keep playing, playing could be answering the phone when it rings. Even if you're not together with them, you think you're fine. He calls once a month. You think, I'm just going to answer the phone and see what's up. Guess what that tells them? You can still play. Responding to a text, regardless of what yours says back to them. It could be to go away, but you responded. That's what they see. She responded. They might not even read it. They might see the bubble and just know you responded. And they could be across the room and they don't even care. They just know you responded. That's what they see. She's playing. Right? You didn't ignore them. They didn't get zero back from you. They got something. It could be that you feel friendly that day and they made you laugh on the phone. You're thinking that's harmless. We're getting along. We're all humans here. Why can't we get along? I'm not with them. I won't be with them. So I can laugh. It's okay. But every time I did something like that, the message he got was I was still here. I was still reachable. Even when I was having conversations with him and I was telling him, you're not welcome to come here to my home anymore. There was a point past which I said that. He would still call. We would laugh on like it was like a weird dynamic. I was never going to allow him back into my life that way, but I felt like this was okay. And then that dissipated to nothingness. I told you it was a very long haul for me, over a year. So you're thinking it's harmless, you're not with them, but and not only does it make them know that you're reachable, now you've had a taste. So what does that do to your psyche? But that's a whole other video as well. So how did you make them go away? I had to make him know that I was untouchable, unreachable, that I was disgusted with him, that I was truly and genuinely uninterested, turned off, no longer attracted to. Until I did all of that, mine was not just an egomaniac, it's like a megalomaniac. Until I did all of that repeatedly, he was going to keep trying. Because I was doing all of that while I was maybe laughing on the phone. While I was like insulting him. But through the insults, we'd find humor and laugh. So I was getting there. I was getting my message to him, but I was answering the phone, answering a text, entertaining him for coffee, and then once the visit stopped, it was still on the phone. So, and you know, he kept saying once he moved 3 hours south, I'll come see you. And I said, no, you're not allowed in my home anymore. I had said, you're never welcome in my home again. I did get to that point. And it took many months after that of still communicating. But eventually he realized, I guess, that I meant it. And why? Because I finally stopped telling him anything. I stopped saying anything. I just stopped everything. No more responses. No more little breakthroughs of laughter. I genuinely became disgusted with him. And he knew it, he heard me, and he got the message. But the entire over a year that he hoovered and I answered in some capacity, even if I kept it at arm's length as much as possible, that entire year, I was giving the very clear message that he could hoover and that I would receive him and that I welcomed it. My behavior was teaching him that it was okay. He had a new life, a new girl, of course, but that he could still play here, by even if it was just on the phone, post visits were stopped. No, 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 and no freaking way. So it was a few months of that, and I started to realize that the anger crept in. So when I said I did irreversible things, that means, you might say, I've called him every name in the book. There's nothing more I could possibly say. Name calling means nothing. You have to actually say to them, not in a fit of rage, in a very calm way. I don't care if it's your last text to them. You have to say things from which a narcissist can't recover. You have to cause them this narcissistic injury to their brain and say things like, I don't even know how to, or it could be on the phone is best, because I did this with my voice. This is the message. And it took a few times, but he got it. I said, I don't think you really understand. I'm not even attracted to you. I don't even know why I went out with you more than twice. What do you mean? We had something No, I'm sorry. I look at it like I was slumming it for a while. How could you say? I'm serious. Just please move forward. I'm good. Don't give me a thought. Like, I get disgusted when I think of you and me together. It's gross. Like, I can't even imagine being in the same room with you. Like, I could handle it. I'm a strong person, but ew, icky kaka poo poo growth. How could you say? No, I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this. And so that was the message I pounded. And I got very colorful and very insulting. And the more he tried to combat, and you might say, and a lot of people say, well, then just cut it off. I did finally. That's what I finally did. So that has to come. The no contact, you do land on no contact. So that's when I said I just stopped everything. But before just stopping everything, no more responses, I led with that for the last few bits of contact. In writing as well, in case he ever wanted to review it, like in text form. But it's irreversible. Like, I'm basically, you downgrade and denigrate a narcissist to smithereens like that. It came to where if he were to call me now, that's kind of a lot of egg on his face. He knows I'm off the bench. I'm done. I'm off the bench. I made it very clear. I think you're disgusting. I think you're gross. I don't know how you can sleep at night. I don't know how you go through life that way, but there's no energy about you that I want near me. I wish you'd just lose my phone number. I mean, I wish you'd erase my email. Like, please pretend like this is just a stop in life you did not ever make. Like, you can, and you might say, I don't care what I say to mine, he keeps. Well, that's when you have to finally, if you think you've clearly given that message that you think they're disgusting, then that's when you have to just stop everything without warning. You can't say, oh, I'm about to delete you. I'm going to block you. I did that too. Oh, I've done it all. When I say all, I tried it all. You have to just stop. You decide when. You don't need to give them a warning. They knew it was coming. You've been telling them in a message for the last however long, days, weeks, months, whatever. And now you did it. You executed. You don't need to warn them when you go to execute. And that'll stump them the first time maybe you don't even contact them all the time. So it might take them a little bit to even catch on that you're not going to respond. But once they do, they're going to panic and they're going to come with a flood of things. You have to decide absolutely no more responses ever to anything ever again. Ever again. And eventually it fell off. So I think that, you know, it's hard. I mean, it's hard, though. It really is. But once you make the moves to send your final message of, leave me alone, I really mean it. And I was drastic. You have to be fully ready, though, that you may succeed. Make sure you mean it. Because when they stop, I don't want anyone going, whoa, wait, they actually stopped? I wasn't ready for that. I kind of was used to them leaving me 30 messages a night, because you're going to suffer withdrawal if they do eventually stop. Maybe I'll make another video. I can't remember the number of the video, but I talked about that before. I think I called it like the unexpected effects of when the Hoover stops or something like that. And I wasn't prepared for that when it stopped. I was ready. I wanted it. I didn't regret making it stop, but I wasn't prepared for the jolt you get. Like, it's a thing. You go from 50 messages a night, even if you ignore them, they're there and they feel kind of, there's like a validation, isn't there? Like, he's still trying to chase me, even if you're not listening to them or responding back. All those messages, you feel a sense of, that's right, chase me. But eventually they will stop and you will have a void. And just remember that that's what you wanted. And stay steadfast in your decision that you already made and executed. And I think I had kept the door ajar because I wasn't ready to never talk again. I envisioned us being some kind of friends in the beginning. I envisioned me keeping him around for a scientific experiment. I told him that. I've told you that before. Just as a narcissist that I could question and whatever. I thought about keeping him around as, you know, an arm's length friend that maybe we'd chat once every year. I didn't know. None of that works. And once I decided, because it felt weird, right? It feels weird to think we won't ever have anything, any conversation ever. But that's the only way. I tried every single possible combination to figure it out. It's the only way. And I listened to myself. I listened to myself to what I'd been telling him about the gross impression of him that I had. And I moved through it. I reminded myself, he is a cretin you don't want around you. I really was uninterested. No longer attracted to this human. So I stopped everything. And like I said, I made some drastic moves and said very blunt things that couldn't possibly be misinterpreted. But the follow-up of not giving them one more ounce of yourself is the key. Not one more ounce. I don't care. And there was hoovering on his part after I stopped. So I had to let that dissipate. But at some point, you do decide, I'm no longer responding to anything, any amount of messages. No more. What is it? Nothing. And then they fall off because they realize you're not on the bench anymore. My guess now is he's had other new supply that he can now go behind the back of his girlfriend with. If I allowed him, he would probably still be coming here once a month. Just behind his girlfriend's back. I got to go to Orlando. I have business. Stopping in here. Are you out of your mind? So now instead, I'm not there. Now he's had somebody else. It doesn't mean they're behaving. I have no control over making the narcissist behave. Whether or not I'm available has nothing to do with it. So he went out and or contacted some other ex or whatever. Somebody will answer him eventually, or he'll find somebody new to be behind the back of his girlfriend with. Do you follow what I'm saying? The follow-up of not giving them one more ounce of yourself is key. As long as they think they will be received, they'll keep coming at you. As long as you play in any way at all, they'll keep coming at you. That includes a wink or a nod or a whatever on whatever site in the world, email, messenger pigeon, clouds in the sky, I don't care. You have to bring it to zero. Because what does that tell someone? That tells somebody that you don't care. Birthdays come, holidays come, Christmas comes, your favorite movie you're watching one night, no cute text, oh, I'm thinking of you, watch it. No, nothing. Not happy birthday, not I hear your mother died, not I hear, for mothers. But you know what I mean? Nothing. Cut contact. Oh, but Renee, I'm so close to his sister. Well, if something were to happen in that regard, then you reach out to another family member, not to him ever again, no matter what. Now, I say that. Obviously, if you were family and there's a death, I guess I gave too extreme of an example. That's a tough call. What are you going to do? You need to offer condolences, right? So you figure out a way. You send a card, a formal sympathy card. Because I'm thinking that through. Some of you may have been married, so when I say the mother, that could be your mother-in-law, you're going to want to express so I'm not trying to minimize that. Look how my mind goes. It goes so far with everything. You have no idea. I do that all the time. But my point to you is you can make them stop. But it takes a lot on your part. You might have to lay it on extra thick and make them believe that you are done with them. And say some things that they internalize, and they know that you need to go find other supply. I think I even said that. I said, this door is closed. I said, you can't, this is not a number that you should be dialing ever. When you need people to triangulate new girlfriends I said all of that. I said, you need to call another person. This store is closed. There's nothing for you here. So how much you say to them and their comprehension level, or whatever words you would use, or whatever would be an injury from which they could not come, say that. Say that. I mean it. It has to hit them where it hurts. I went straight for mine's ego, which every narcissist has an ego, but mine, like I said, is like a mega, wattage up there. So I slayed his. And then stopped all responding. And sure enough, he fell off. And I don't think, I mentioned there was like an email like a month ago in the subject, it said love you, but I also mentioned that I think he did that in a series because there was no body or composition. And what does it take to have love you and have a name, and you're going through your Rolodex in your phone, you're going through all the numbers, and you put Susie, send, erase, Renee, send, erase. Like there was no composition. It just in the subject said love you, like the title of a song, each word capitalized. Love you. So he probably sent out 50 of them. So that's not contact. I'm not talking about that. But the last time he contacted has been a long time now. So it does work. I just wanted to give you a hint. For those of you that have asked me, how do you make it stop? It's been 3 years. The last time I was asked that. It's been 3 years that he keeps doing this. How do I make him stop hoovering me? You must be playing in some capacity. Otherwise, he would have a bunch of new people that he would be retrieving supply from. Mine wasn't getting any supply from me. I wasn't giving him anything. I wasn't giving him laughter. I wasn't giving him attention. I wasn't answering his call. I wasn't giving him compliments. I wasn't letting him nothing. They need something from their victims. They need to suck something out of you. Well, I was giving him nothing. Eventually, he went on to other people. So I hope this helps. Please go ahead and hit sub, like, and share. I'll see you next time. I thank you so much for watching. I do. I really appreciate every single video we make. We always have great discussions later, and I just want to take the time to say I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody.